Ma'am.
Yeah?
Ma'am.
Favorite, Vidya Balan. I mean, Vidya Balan, any kind of introduction will be short for her, but to say a few words, she's one of the finest and most versatile Indian actors, known for her pioneering change in the portrayal of women with her roles in female led films. Vidya Balan is an academy in herself, powerhouse performance who proves her mettle in every challenging role she takes up, an inspiration for young aspiring actors. Me too. Vidya aspired to a career in film from a young age and had her first acting role in 1995 sitcom Hum Paanch. While pursuing a master's degree in sociology,
Thank you. It feels like holding a newborn baby after 9 months. Seriously, all I do is deliver babies.
right, right. Since you're saying it's like a newborn baby after 9 months, I'd like from the book.
Firstly, I'm making a physical appearance for an event after almost 2 years. So,
Wow.
yeah. You know, I've promoted 2 films in between, but all of it sitting in front of my iPad. So I'm thrilled to be here today. Hi, everyone, and a big congratulations to Shilpa. I've known Shilpa. I've been getting to know Shilpa, is the right thing to say, over the past 2 years. Like she said, when she released YOLO, she got in touch with me. I was supposed to launch it. I couldn't do it. But I have to say she's been relentless. She's been in touch. But what really touched me was her genuineness. You know, I met her 2 years ago and she told me about her life journey so far and about some defining moments in her life, and I just looked at her and I thought, wow, you know, here she was sitting in front of me smiling, not a trace of what she had been through, and what a spirit. And you know, she also shared with me some I remember this very special meditation that she was doing, and I said, I don't meditate. You know, very sweet of her to have shared it, but I'm not going to do it. But guess what? I actually ended up doing that 21-day meditation. I haven't done anything after that, I have to admit. But Shilpa, I have to give you credit for that 21-day meditation that I did. And she's always been so positive through the pandemic. You know, she would message telling me of the pressure she was going through, but also of the hope she felt. And you know, it would make me smile, especially in the second wave, when we were going through the second wave, and there seemed to be despair all around us, because you know, it seemed to be coming closer and closer, and one didn't know what to do. I would be filled with positivity and hope and a smile every time I received a message from Shilpa. So thank you for that. So when she asked me to launch Ubuntu, I said, firstly, with a name like Ubuntu, I love the concept of Ubuntu, so I said, I am going to do it definitely. But most importantly, because she's written it, and I'm happy to be here today. So again, big congratulations And more power to you. You know, she really is so full of life, so full of zest that it fills my heart to see a pediatrician. And you know, I know the kind of pressures that doctors have been going through, especially in the past 2 years, but she never fails to get in touch. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's at the receiving end of this warmth and this affection. So God bless you for that. We need more people like you. You doctors have touched our lives in ways that we cannot even imagine in the past 2 years. Frontline workers overall. You know, no amount of gratitude can express what we feel for y'all. But since I'm sitting next to you here today, I have to personally say thank you.
Thank you so much.
And even when she had COVID, her only worry was, when can I go back to my children? And when she said children, it was to the children she just delivered or was about to deliver. So that really is very inspiring. Okay, now I shall get down to reading the book.
I am just speechless about all the good things that she said, and I'm going to keep on replaying it for next 2 to 3 years in my mind.
Until your next.
Until my next. I think it was synchro destiny, you know, that we just, Vidya just happened in my life. So I'm really thankful to God for that, to have a friend like you.
Thank you.
Need to sort out that. You need to give me tips. So when I ask him, why don't you read books? And then, you know, playfully he'll just look at me and say, I read you.
Oh, that's romantic.
So I asked, do you read me in between the lines or thoroughly? But yes, we have been classmates since MBBS, and you know, it obviously there is a mutual support, encouragement, and helping each other grow. My 2 children, Kavya and Sahil, who never gave me any peace of mind or any my time to write at home. And when I reprimand them that, you know, I need one writer's space or a writer's den, or you do this on your own, I have to write this chapter, they'll say, Mom, you don't need anything because all the stories are plot in your mind, you know, in the kitchen, while cooking, or in the hospital while seeing patients. So you're good at that. You don't need any peace of mind. Yeah. But yes, it's for them also. And I have all my friends from my MBBS days, you know, and they were saying that they are as good as celebrities. That's what they feel. But I must say that it's.
Can the celebrities in the house just, yeah. I love it.
She's the biggest.
It's been more than 30 years of friendship, and I must say that it's really a God's blessing to have such friends. They are my biggest critics. At the same time, you know, they are my mirrors and my shadows. Like shadow, they never leave me.
So important.
So, yes, definitely to them. My teachers, you know, so many of my teachers and senior colleagues are there who have always encouraged me, and I've always learned so much from them. And lastly, I'm an avid reader. So I think to all the books that I have swallowed, digested, and maybe I get constipated, I don't throw out. So I would definitely owe to the books. So that was my Thanksgiving. Thank you.
How lovely.
Anything you have
She
to say,
infused
Vidya?
even that much, you know, that with so much humor. And I'm just thinking, you forgot to mention all those children that you've delivered. Because, you know, I think they've inspired so much in you. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, she's absolutely right. because I think being a pediatrician has made me a better writer. Because as a doctor, as a pediatrician, first of all, I love dealing with kids. And honestly, I always wanted to take Gynac. So I took MD Gynac. I didn't like, I quit. Then I was getting medicine. I did for some time and then they said, I can't deal with adults. I don't like them.
But I have to tell you, she's so passionate about what she does. She told me, she said, you know, why don't you have a child? And I was like, why don't you write a book? I'll deliver it for you. That's easier. You put in the 9 months.
Yeah, so I keep on telling her, I owe you. And I said, the only way I can reciprocate is like, you know, if you have a child, I can be the pediatrician. And I keep on posting these pics of my newborns. And every time I'm stressed with those preterm babies in NICU, you know, I keep on posting to her, oh God, baby's on ventilator.
Oh my God.
And she'll say, I'll pray.
Very sweet.
So, yes, but I think definitely being a doctor has made me a better writer. Because I personally believe for a writer, you can't just research and write, you know. You have to care and love the characters that you portray. Then only you can write it. And then only the readers will enjoy it. So.
Now suddenly every wannabe writer is going to queue up outside a medical college saying, I want to be a better writer. I first have to learn medicine. Study medicine.
Or gynecology.
Yeah.
All right then.
I wanted to say something inappropriate, but I'll save that for later.
That makes us curious.
Yeah.
Very curious.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Please do.
Please.
No. Just joking.
It's all humor. It's okay. Go ahead.
It's fine.
Seriously.
No, I'm good. Really, thank you. I want to get home in one piece.
Man ki baat keh do.
All right, later. Maybe. We go to her curiosity. Okay. So now, after unveiling the book, we have a surprise segment that you have been looking for. Let's unveil a few secrets about the author and about the most loved versatile actor, Vidya. The part that I've been waiting for this entire evening. Let's know Shilpa and Vidya better and see who scores more umbers.
Oh God. Is there a gift hamper?
We have, but let's see who wins. We do have a gift hamper, but let's see who wins. That's to be later. Okay, I will give it over to Malini to make it more fun.
I do have some
She's
questions.
going to be tough on me and she'll be biased towards her.
We'll see who gives the better answers. Okay. Just and maybe anytime you want to be inappropriate, you're totally welcome to do that.
I was just going to say I need audience support because we actors bank on that always.
Yes, absolutely. I relate to that. I absolutely relate to that. Yes.
So you don't see it, is it? Ah.
These are my questions. Read and both of you
Okay,
give
okay,
answer.
okay, great.
And we do have a rapid fire towards the end, but initially it's just very simple question.
Okay.
So to both of you, just juxtaposing your, since you have a connect and you've been interacting through all parts of the book, just
Mic. No, close.
Is this better?
No, you closed.
Better now?
You can
Okay, better now, I guess. So, Shilpa, I think the first question you did answer, but do you have a writing corner or a place in your house? But I guess you answered that elaborately. Your kids don't allow you to have one. Did you still manage to have one?
Yeah.
You have it in your clinic?
Yeah. No, it's शौचालय. मैं सब सोचना शौचालय में करती हूँ.
जहाँ सोच वहाँ शौचालय. You know, I'd actually done a campaign a few years ago because
Yeah.
we wanted to end open
I
defecation
remember.
in India, and this was a tagline, so this was just most appropriate to say that. Yeah.
Would serve these purposes too.
I remember that campaign.
Vidya, do you have a spot where you read your scripts and even
Spots?
books?
No, all the world's a stage for me.
Wow.
I'm always acting. No, jokes apart, no, there is no. The camera is my soulmate, my confidant, my everything. You know, so when I see a camera, then something happens to me. So that can be, you know, anywhere, wherever I see a camera, I'm just like.
Yeah, I realized the moment she came, everyone gathered, and then she's calling me, Shilpa, come, and I was like, oh God, मैं ये कैसे करूँ?
No, but and I don't have any particular. I have a workspace at home, which is where I also do my meetings. I also get ready when I have to step out, and I read there sometimes, but I just anywhere really.
Shilpa, what's your next book on?
So Malini, I think both my books are based on real events. So I always think कि I need to write, कुछ fiction kind.
I think you make non-fiction into fiction just with your humor and the take you do on it. So I don't think you need to worry about that part.
I think maybe my next book, because there are a lot of books on engineering, 5 Point and lots of books and even movies are made and nothing on doctors. So I might make something like Munni Ben MBBS. Or Munni
We'll talk
Ben.
about the title again, Shilpa. We'll discuss the title again.
Or we can do an ER here and just get George Clooney and me.
Oh! No, in fact, I was going to say, and then we can. I told her also that I always want to write a script on something like medical this, and I want her to act in that,
And that actually leads me to the next question. What's your next movie on?
It's a film called Jalsa. It's been directed by Suresh Triveni, who directed Tumhari Sulu. I don't know when it will release, but hopefully in the first half of next year. It has Shefali Shah and me, and I was very excited to work with her on this film because she's an actor I admire greatly. I've really enjoyed her work, and I loved Suresh Triveni. And I'm also teaming up with the producers of Shakuntala and Sherni, Abundantia Films, Abundantia Entertainment for the third time. So it's been a lovely journey so far, and I hope when it reaches you all that you enjoy it. It's a very different kind of film. It's a thriller and a drama. I don't know how else to put it.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
The enthusiasm comes in here, people.
Yeah, we can make some noise. Oh yes, we do share.
So, Vidya, if you were to write a book, would you write an autobiography or would you write a fiction? And who would pen it if it is an autobiography?
Neither, actually. I'm really not very articulate in that sense. And secondly, I think I've begun to forget most things. And I think that's a good thing for me. Because previously, I remember too much. And now I don't remember that much. And I think that's really freed me. So autobiography is there's no question of that. I need another 40 years of work before I can write something that can be meaningful. But thank you. But no. Yeah.
But
I cook up stories on screen, but off screen, no.
But I think there is so much to her life, and from whatever, what she has shared with me, and I have told her this before also, that the world needs to hear that. So, I'm keeping my hopes that someday, we are going to have her life story in an autobiography. So, She has a lot of resilience.
Know each other better. Tell us, what's the one common trait that both of you share?
I think positivity, faith.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And a much needed quality today.
I think that's how, that's something I really admire about her. I said that before. I don't want to go into specifics, but that's something I admire in people who exude that, and she's definitely one of them.
I think somewhere down the line, as doctors, we are healers, and I feel that through the character she portrays somewhere, she also heals, like her character in Tumhari Sullu, or the character in Sherni. So I'm sure that after watching, somewhere there is healing to people. So I would say
That's a beautiful compliment. Thank you.
And we both are Capricorns, so.
Wow. And your love for family, both of your love for family is like so
Tangible.
intense that it's beautiful to watch you guys thank your family for everything and every stepping stone.
But I think that's also very, very Indian.
Yeah.
I'd like to believe that
Yeah,
Indians are very bonded through family.
that's true.
The family is a very strong institution here, and I hope it always remains that way.
Absolutely.
So imagine this situation if one day, Vidya, you wake up as Shilpa, and Shilpa, you wake up as Vidya. What would that day look like? What would you do first?
हाँ तुम बोलो.
What would I do? Would I deliver a baby? Or a few?
I think I'll just go back to sleep because I will feel, I'll switch off the phone, no calls, no emergencies, and I'm relieved. Yeah, you'll have to deliver.
Or is the real answer
push,
what he
push,
said?
push.
Somehow I think I like his answer better. I can imagine. So now later, about the hamper, just to clarify.
Okay.
Sometimes these kind of answers may not get you the hamper. All right.
Okay.
So now just a series of quicker questions to both of you, the same ones.
Quickies, you mean?
Yeah. Okay. Now that's how she does the humor. You don't even want to say the words, and she does. Okay, so what's your biggest fear? Both of you. What's your biggest fear?
I guess losing a loved one.
Drowning. I think I always feel I died in my last birth in water, so.
How can you make even that funny? I don't know.
You can ask my family. Every time we cross the Vashi bridge, I'll just drive fast. What if the bridge breaks and I don't want to die in water? Yeah, I'm scared. I think that's my biggest fear. And to be honest, my other fear is I don't want, of course things are not in your hands, but having a morbid disease, because I think we see so much of suffering and ailments and also, yeah, I do fear that. So, yeah.
All right. So for these quicker answers, okay now?
Yeah.
Music or silence?
Music.
Silence.
Books or movies?
Music.
Books or movies?
Books.
Night owl or early bird?
Night owl.
Night in. I'm not an early bird, but I like to stay in.
Okay. Adventure or comfort?
Adventure.
Adventure.
Family or friends?
Family.
Okay. The family's all here. Okay, and that was a buzzer. You don't get to answer that one now.
I would say friends who also become family.
Now, that was an interesting save, but the family, what do you give her points for this answer? All right. So lastly, just both of you, what's your mantra for life?
Oh my God. I think mine keeps changing, but it all boils down to the same thing, and inflections of the same thing. So maybe today it would be right to say Ubuntu.
Wow. Wow. Lovely. Wow, that was wonderful. Thank you. So I guess it's fair from the
You didn't
answers.
let me answer.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so mine also keeps changing, but off late it is that song. I'm not a good singer, but मैं जिंदगी का साथ निभाता चला गया, हर फिक्र को धुआं में उड़ाता चला गया. So, and I like most is गम और खुशी में ना महसूस करे. Because I think that is that level of spirituality or one should have in life where you take both as a equal this in your life. And
May I know your name, please?
that is why he wants attention. That is only he's doing this.
Dr. Bhushan, thank you so much. You've been the most enthusiastic.
Yes, absolutely.
शादी कब है? आपने कहा रोका हुआ वर्जन. Bad joke, sorry.
He's a gastroenterologist.
Wow. Okay, can we have chatter?
Yeah, well, the humor is definitely infectious. Thank you, and I think this has something to do with not just the title and the way Shilpa does it, but your commentary and all of us. Thank you, really, thank you so much.
Thank you everyone, and congratulations Shilpa again.
We have to. We still have the winner to announce.
Yeah, yes.
The audience.
Yeah, for putting up with us.
So I do think, no, I know you said this at this
Hand on heart, I think her answers were great, but I'll take the gift.
ये फोटो. अरे नहीं भाई. अरे मेरे घर में पूरा आ रहा है. निकल के आपने चले गए.
All right then. So for a few questions, the stage is now open. Just
Would you like to write Vidya Balan's self-biography?
अभी 40 साल at least के बाद, after she's written another 40 books she can write. No, but please answer.
Yes, I'll have to unfortunately wait for 40 years. But I'll try my best to convince her before that.
Yeah, because it will take so much of
But I would love to. Because I know that it's going to be a very, very inspiring story, knowing her on screen and knowing her off screen. So,
Anyone else?
I think we've spoken so much that they have no question. Oh, sorry.
Just like the host, and by the way, guys, enthusiasm, round of applause for the host. Just like the host said, this is the first time we've been through an experience as, regardless of nationality, geographies, race, as humanity. So as a frontline warrior and as someone who's written a book on the whole experience, what would you say it'd be very interesting for us to know, what do you think should be like a one big takeaway from this entire coronavirus experience? I'd like to know what your opinion would be. One big takeaway, or one thing we should take away as, a species. Because the first time we've gone through something as a species.
yeah. So I think that's what the title conveys, that it is, somewhere down, I think we abuse the ecosystem, the animal, our planet. So when we say Ubuntu, it is not just being social with each other or just being there for each other. I think it is it is interlinked. Everything is interlinked in this universe, whether it's the animal species or the ecosystem. So my message would be that we should live in such a way that we respect each other as human beings. At the same time, we also respect, our own planet and the other species, because in the end, it is Ubuntu. We all have to survive together. There's this joke that we wish that the Chinese didn't eat bats and they ate apple like Adam and Eve. The joke keeps on going on WhatsApp. But somewhere down the line, I think it's all interlinked. So we need to respect that.
Yes, absolutely.
I want to ask Vidya that two questions. Is there any actor, that you like to imitate? You would like to imitate, I mean, the olden era, or as a child or in college, you used to think.
I admire lots of actors, been inspired by lots of them, by performances. Maybe not the entire work of an actor, because I've not seen the entire work of any actor. But Shabana Azmi is definitely someone I grew up admiring. Because, she was someone with a voice. She was a woman with a voice, and that's not something we saw very often on screen. So Shabana Azmi will always be a hero to me. There were others that I began to admire more as I grew up, and whose work I was blown by. But Shabana Azmi is someone who I've always looked up to.
And are you very choosy with your roles? Because every movie of yours is different. I mean, I think everyone would agree with that. We usually don't see her repetitive most of the time. So is it just it's like abundance flows, or you are very choosy about it?
I get bored very easily. So to keep myself engaged and entertained, I look for new things to do. And for me, the only thing I know to do is to act, So I think I'm constantly looking for new, for a character I haven't played before, or for a story I haven't told before, to work with new people. So I'm constantly working with new people. I love that. That really gets me going. I think that's what it is. Something that challenges me, something that excites me and hopefully fulfills me finally. But I think I get bored very easily. That's the answer, plain and simple.
All right, it looks like we are done with the questionnaire. And okay, let's go for it.
Hi. So I wanted to ask, what was the most difficult part about writing this book?
Yeah, I can't see you. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So what was the most difficult part about writing this book?
I don't think there were, any particular, I really can't think of right now. But as I said, I didn't want to make it like a sad saga or, a story about pandemic in a sad way. So, when you if you read the book, actually, there are a few funny anecdotes, and these are all real events. Like, for example, I think when we started doing teleconsultation, when the patients were unable to come to the hospital, we had this new kid in our life, teleconsult. And we were not used to it because we like to see patients physically. And when we started doing teleconsults, so a lot of time what is to happen is I will start the video call with the patient, and then typical Indian family, you'll have a queue of 10 people surrounding the child at the video. They want to see how the doctor looks in PP, how the doctor looks in coverall. So you have the chacha, chachi, nana, nani, neighbors waving at you. And the 3 minutes or 5 minutes consult would go on for 30 minutes. So these were small funny things which are depicted in the book. But at the same time, there were a lot of, as I said, the unheard voices of the common people, like the housemaids. It was quite many of them didn't pay their maids for 6 months or 7 months, so it was very difficult for them to run their houses. And later on, also, when the maids started coming, they were treated as untouchables. The elite, we wanted the maids to come to our house, but we didn't want them to use the same elevator or the same lift or the same garden bench that we use. So, we wanted the best. We wanted the maids to work, but we discriminated them. We treated them as untouchables. And these are the common people where they will go and voice. So doing an act of balancing between the right humor, at the same time, not making it sound, I'm unable to get the word. Yeah. Keeping the sensitive side of sensitive aspect. So in fact, when the editing was going on, me and Chandralekha, we would have debates many times on this. The book was edited 3 times, and after every edit, when it used to come back to me, I used to tell her, you have cut down my humor by 50%. I'm not happy with it. And she kept on saying, yeah, dear, but this is pandemic time, and you can't hurt sentiments of people. We have to keep the sensitive part also to it. So I think as a writer, balancing between the humor and the sensitive part, bringing both the aspects together in the same story, in the same parable, was a little daunting task, but I hope I have justified, and definitely my editor has done a wonderful work on it.
We're running short of time, but sure.
Actually, I first have a comment for Vidya, and then I have a question for Shilpa. Vidya, you're a woman of substance. You're beautiful inside and out. And you've inspired so many, many women. And you are so humble. And it's so heartwarming to see the way you give credit to your family and you still have those roots intact. I battled with depression earlier this year. And without my family, I wouldn't have, gotten through it. So to see somebody like you standing there, speaking from your heart, and inspiring so many people, and yet having the humility to say that you have 40 more years to go before you think you've touched lives or achieved something, is incredible. And I'm really saying this from my heart. You really, really have inspired so many people. The way you embrace self-confidence, I don't know, it's really nice.
Thank you so much. And thank you for your sharing, that's what enriches all our lives. Because especially as, I don't know what the word is, I don't like to use the word celebrity, but as someone in the public glare, when someone shares with you something about their lives, I think that's what touches me the most. That gives my work, that gives what I do so much more meaning. Thank you, and more power to you. God bless you and your family.
I would love to have 2 more lines, if I could, in private, because just to give you even a hug and just say how much you move people.
Come on ahead.
Wow. I'm so sorry. My question to Ms. Shilpa is, one of the biggest things about COVID, I think, was we realized the difference between wants and need, necessities.
Yes.
And, do you think we really learned? And one more thing is, how did you find the time? Because as a doctor, the way, I'm sure your mental health got impacted, for all the doctors. I have a doctor in my family, and so how did you find the time? And that's my question. And also, do you think we really, really learned? Because it was no matter how much money you have, you were still struggling for the same air.
So I think, yes, it has somewhere down the line changed our perspective towards life. Unfortunately, human memory is very short. That is the problem. So, during the pandemic, we saw people hoarding hoarding stuff, hoarding chocolates, hoarding
Toilet paper.
toilet papers, sanitary napkins. And I had friends who have hoarded remdesivir injections and oxygen cylinders also. So that was a shade of selfishness or greed or meanness we have seen. Coming to the hospital in the ICU, as doctors, forget doctors, our nurses have worked for 12 hours non-stop in that PP. And I can't describe how it is sustaining for 12 hours in that PP suit. You can't even go to the washroom often, you can't even eat, you sweat so much, you are thirsty. But not once I saw any kind of irritation in their eyes. And I think what I have written in Ubuntu is, about human behavior and human emotions. And these are all emotions which are spoken through the eyes, behind the mask. So that was one thing that it really touched me. I think, yes, we have redefined our concepts of luxuries. I'm an avid, I love to travel. I would spend all my money on traveling, and I always say that the best stories I can write is in between the pages of the passport. And I was really very upset that I couldn't travel last 2 years. But during the lockdown, there was a time when one day I told my husband that, if the lockdown opens up, I wouldn't mind just going for a Mumbai darshan. And just a walk at Marine Drive for the first time gave me so much joy. So we did learn about minimalism, that, less is more. We don't need too much. But the problem is there, how long this will stay in our memory. We are human beings and we have a short memory. We forget soon. So it will be good that the lessons that we have learned, it stays for a long time in our life. And I think in the end, we just need to be a little more kinder. What I call offer a plate of kindness. I always tell the patient, you have a patient next to you, be kind to that patient. So you have food plates, you distribute kindness plates. So
You had something to say, Vidya?
That eventually we will forget, but maybe that's the only way forward. Hopefully we won't forget the lessons, but we will have to let go of the pain, of the memories of this time to be able to move forward. That's the only way forward, I guess.
yes, I agree. I think maybe, we will forget, and after 20 years, I will be narrating this as folk tales to my grandchildren. So it might just become folk tales that aisa aisa hua tha and we did all those things. But
The way you're saying and the way all of us are here, I feel there's a lot more compassion, there's a lot more love, which these 2 years have actually brought in us because of all the realizations of the basic necessities we had to just, yes, I feel, yeah. Right, okay. It was such a good evening, man. Beautiful evening. Thank you everyone for being here. And thank you, Vidya, for being here and being a treat to all of us. Thank you, Tidal Waves, for letting us curate this event. And we'll have a few signed copies by our author and Vidya, which will be sold at the counter. So anyone who wants to buy Ubuntu can go at the counter and get it. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming.
I just want to tell you, not anyone who wants to buy Ubuntu, the doors are locked, so you'll have to buy a coffee if you want to get out. But thank you, everyone, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Stay safe and God bless. And thank you. God bless.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.